What's up, guys? Today we have a little bit different video planned, and this is something that I want to try to do to give you all an inside look as to what it actually takes to get ready for a strongman contest as big as World's Strongest Man. You know, I know we show a lot of training videos and that type of thing, but I really want to show more of the nuts and bolts of what goes on behind the scenes on a weekly basis leading up to a big contest like that. So I'm not sure exactly how it's going to flow, and we're going to have to learn as we go with this because it's kind of a new video concept, but I feel like it'll be pretty interesting, and I hope you guys find it interesting. So leading up to World's Strongest Man, the first thing I'm going to say is I really feel like with this contest, my back is against the wall. You know, I've made it very clear that my goal is to go after World's Strongest Man this year, not worry about other contests, try to eliminate distractions, really be on point. I mean, I've changed so many things in the past few months. You know, the biggest thing is my diet, which I feel is going very, very well. I feel like I'm responding, and I've been able to kind of reset on that front. So that's been huge. The next thing that I had to really analyze actually was very difficult for me, and that was my training time during the day. So for years, I've always trained at night, getting ready for these big contests, and the primary reason was that my training partners couldn't come until they got off work at night. And so, you know, over the years, it wasn't that big of a deal until recently. My boys have started getting older, and they're not ready to go to bed as early. And so what started happening, and this actually makes me really sad to admit this, but I started feeling like I was failing as a dad. You know, I have a message where, you know, I always use the term be great, and I try to be great at every aspect of my life. And I started feeling like my wife was having to carry a big burden because at night I would go out to train and the boys weren't ready to go to sleep. So she would finish up either, you know, bath time or bedtime or whatever was going on without me. And I felt like I was missing out. And like I said, failing as a dad. And then I would go out at night and be very tired. So I felt like my training was falling down. So after looking at myself in the mirror and really, you know, coming to a realization that I needed to change my training time to be a better husband and to be a better dad and to make myself a better athlete, I've decided to change my training time to earlier in the day. And that was tough for me because, you know, this means that the guys that were coming to train with me could no longer come during the week because they have jobs to go to and they have their families. And you know, I really didn't want to make that decision because I wanted to keep helping them and having them help me. But this is something that needed to be done. And now this will actually allow me to get more sleep, to get better recovery, and ultimately to be a better husband and father. And that's what means the most to me. And that was really breaking my heart, that I felt like I was letting my family down. So now that's not any longer on my plate. I don't need to worry about it. And I feel much better now making that change. And we're going to see how it goes. It's a learning experience, and it will be very interesting to see how it goes. But on paper, and as far as a daily plan, I feel like it's set up very well now for me to be successful in all aspects of my life, and especially when it comes to my training and recovery. So I got to have all those things lined up. I mean, it's something for me where I don't talk about it a lot, but I do have two young boys, and a lot of the guys that I compete against don't have that, if you want to call it a challenge, they just don't have that as part of their life. So they can focus 100% on their training, recovery, not worry about, having a family and that type of thing. But to me, it's very, very important that I handle that as well. So I'm excited, I'm motivated. But like I said, I feel like for me right now, my back is against the wall with World's Strongest Man. It's come a long way. And ironically enough, it's kind of come full circle in my career. So most of you will not remember this, but when I first started competing as a strongman, there were a lot of people that made comments that I was a very good athlete, but I wasn't strong enough to win the big contest. And fast forward 10 years, that's actually completely reversed. Now people are making comments that I'm really strong, but I'm not athletic enough to keep up in these contests. So, I've had to go back to the drawing board and maybe in some aspects people are right, but the sport has evolved and changed multiple times kind of through my career. And now it's going back to more of an athletic base, and I'm fine with that. I just had to change my training to emphasize that a little bit more. I've done that. We've put out a few videos and different things where I'm doing that. So I've got a different training plan. I've got a different regimen. But, it's kind of ironic. It's kind of like the shirt that I have on right now. You got to cross out fear, doubts, excuses, and be great. And that's the way that I'm going to approach this training cycle leading up to World's Strongest Man. I'm going to lay it all out there. I'm going to bring everything that I can, and there will be nothing other than the best package that I can possibly bring to World's Strongest Man. And it's going to be exciting. I'm pumped up about it. I'm motivated, and I very much appreciate all of you. And that's why I wanted to, bring this video to you. And a lot of you will notice that we've kind of stopped doing quite as many videos on the YouTube channel, and that's very much due to the fact that my focus has shifted entirely to competing at World's Strongest Man, and that's something that just kind of needed to happen. So a lot of the stuff right now, or content that we'll be putting out, will be around training. These videos will be a weekly series where you'll get an inside look into what I'm doing and what I've got going on. But after World's Strongest Man, we'll see where we're at as far as the content and doing some other stuff. But right now, I'm dialed in, I'm focused, and I am ready to put together the best version of myself that I brought to World's Strongest Man in a long time, and possibly ever. I'm super motivated, and all the comments that I've seen where people saying I can't do something, I won't be able to do something, I'm not going to win, Brian's washed up, he's done. I was told that at the beginning of my strongman career, that I wasn't strong enough to win, I was never going to get it done. And all of that only back then fueled me to essentially shut all those people up and put them back in their place and prove to them what I was capable of and what I was going to be able to do. And, I don't know if people have forgot what I've accomplished or something like that, but I got to say, all of these things, that come up, it's only motivating to me. You're not going to bring me down. And, some comment that I see, if anything, all I'm going to read it and say, well, whoever's making that comment has no clue what I'm capable of and what I can accomplish when I set my mind to it. And so that's what I'm going to set out to do, and I'm going to make it happen, and that's it. And so hopefully through this series of videos, you guys can see a little bit of behind the scenes, what it takes, where my mindset's at, what it looks like kind of being a fly on the wall in some of my training sessions, and we're going to put it together. We're going to make it happen. So hopefully you guys are excited to come along on this journey leading up to World's Strongest Man. So this is a behind the scenes look at the glamorous part of being a strongman. All the heavy stuff we lift, unfortunately, I don't have somebody to set that up for me or to get it all ready for me to train. So that responsibility falls on my shoulders. So where I'm at right now is actually in what used to be my temporary gym space. And I've got the Atlas Stones next door and all the platforms. So what I've got to do in order to train for World's Strongest Man because this year I'm going to put more emphasis on my Atlas Stone training, is I've got to get all the Atlas Stones and platforms from over there to over here and get them set up and ready for training on Saturday. Here for some treatment, teamwork, therapy, and sports performance with my man Justin Willis. And he has worked on me for a long time. You guys have probably seen him in some of my videos before, but this is something that I do multiple times per week to keep my body functioning and tuned up. Today we have a little behind the scenes action. We've actually got Ray in from Redcon 1, and he's behind a lot of their video and photos and marketing. So the kind of backside of having sponsors is they need content to post, for their marketing side and for me. So this is one of these things where Redcon does an amazing job working with me and using me for content. And so it's really important. They'll make trips out here to Colorado, or I will head to Florida and we'll do a lot of kind of behind the scenes shoots, and especially, things like this, like I'm today kind of talking about. This is a brand new MRE bar that's not released yet. So this is a chocolate chip cookie dough, and all their bars are literally ridiculous, but the chocolate chip cookie dough tastes amazing. It's the first opportunity that I've got to taste it, so they like to get stuff like that on film where I'm unboxing it, trying it for the first time, and they really want the real responses with things like this. So there's a couple new products that we're shooting today that either just got released or will be coming on the market here in the next couple weeks. So definitely exciting, but this is another aspect of my career that we don't show a lot of. I mean, it's one of those things that, all the ads go out and all the marketing material is there, but people don't realize I actually have to do shoots and I actually have to do this type of stuff to make the content happen. So it's certainly not bad, and I don't mind eating more of these bars because I typically get to have at least a few of them during our shoot. So that keeps me happy, where I'm certainly not hungry, but anyway, just try to bring you guys along and give you more of a behind the scenes look at some of the other things I have to do outside of training and competing.